No, Jay?
No, go for it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, record. What's up, guys? We're back with another episode of the You Discuss podcast. Today, episode 11, we're going to be getting into everything that comes after the first day. We have another guest on with us, Jay's freshman year roommate, one of our good friends, Ryan Kabrick. Ryan, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello, I'm Ryan Kaber, the one, the only Jay's roommate from freshman year. I graduated in May with the rest of these fine people, and now I am still at UD, getting my master's and PhD in computer and electrical engineering.
Casually.
Yeah, like that just rolled off the tongue for you, which is kind of crazy, but
It's nothing.
What? Should I have been choppier? You can add some ums in post.
Okay,
Oh
Jay,
my
do you want
God.
to start us off?
I got this is like
I'm not gonna get through this podcast.
yeah, I know. Kabrick, this is gonna be interesting. You're a funny guy. So like Ron said, we're gonna talk about just after the first day. One of the first things you'll notice after like syllabus week, you kind of get into your routine. You know your classes, like drop ad has ended, so you kind of know where you're going, when you have to wake up, when you have, what class, when, where, how to get there, how long it takes to get there. You'll still probably be 5 minutes late, but it's good to come up with some routine so that you're on time to all the classes that you do decide to attend. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Did you have a statement?
No, I didn't.
This is bad.
No, we'll keep going. I
Tune in next week.
Okay. No, I got it. See, for me, I'm someone who is, I can get up 10 minutes before my class. That's 20 minutes away. It's not because I walk fast. It's just because I'm okay with putting on a hoodie and sweats and then walking in 5 minutes late through the backside entrance so that nobody can see me, even though the door's loud as shit and everyone turns around and looks. Professor stops. It's quite obvious.
Yeah, just remember that you'll get judged very hard no matter when you come in late from every single person in class.
Honestly, how often are you going to see this? Oh, literally every day.
I was gonna say that sounds like your own personal routine, Jay. Like, may not be correct,
Yeah,
but it's a routine.
Yeah, that's my routine. I mean, no, I would always sometimes be on time to class. I think that
Stacy's gonna be so proud.
because like there's the saying, it's like,
Better late than
you're
never?
on time. No, it's like
okay,
earlier
never
on earlier on time you're late. Late is unacceptable. For me, it's better to show up than not show up at all. Right?
Debatable. 100%
relate.
debatable.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're walking in and there's a 50-minute class, you're walking in with 20 minutes left. It's like, that's more insulting, and you're just a fool.
I would no, I wouldn't do that. Like at that point, then I just skip the class. Like you hit a certain mark. Like I think like the have to skip class mark is probably like around like the 7-minute mark.
I was
Where,
gonna
like,
say 10, but sure.
Yeah, like you can't show up after that point. Like that's just
Is
wrong.
this regularly or just like once in a while?
Whatever
If you're
works.
I
Yeah,
think
probably
yeah,
regularly.
probably like yeah. Like it's just
So
I mean,
if you're
don't do
7
it,
minutes
but like
late,
yeah,
that's
no,
your
yeah.
thing.
Go.
turn around.
What are you supposed to do?
Go into
Yep, still a
class.
coin.
But then you get judged.
Just get to class on time.
But
Not
that's
always that
fun.
easy.
That's hard to break routines.
So
Also-
don't set the routine.
I don't know. What were your guys? Well, Claudia and Ross were both very. Actually, no, all three of you were very good at waking up and going to class.
I always got to class like at least like 10 to 15 minutes early.
Okay, I fully said
Same.
that just because I wanted to see K-Rick's reaction because that's absolutely bullshit.
Claudia was not ready. No, I'm kidding. I had a 9 a.m., but I didn't have a 9 a.m., which was good. But that was ridiculous. Like that's a class where the professor And I love the guy, and I won't name names, but like he writes the textbook and
Yeah, he
writes a
does.
new edition every semester. Like, what is that? You're a terrible person. Like, but and the kicker of it all was like in it were just practice quizzes and practice exams that were identical to what you actually got. Well, not question wise necessarily, but he would give you like 4 other quizzes and that's it. Like that's just, you don't need to go. The first 20 minutes were him talking about stories of his grandfather, and he's an old guy.
I had a physics professor that, like, he said the first day of class, he was like, coming to class is optional. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, maybe he like records it on like UD Capture or something. No, coming for the exams, maybe. but but like he was kind of just like, I post all my PowerPoint slides online. I was like, I don't have that class anymore. I don't have it. Why go? If I'm going to be told not to go, I'm following orders of my professor. That's just
That sounds less like an order and more like a recommendation, and he doesn't want to deal with people like you in class, Jalen, who aren't
Probably.
going to show up.
I remember there was one day I did decide, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to class. And like, this is like sharp, big lecture room, right? I go to class, literally, we didn't even fill the first 2 rows. Didn't even fill the first 2 rows. There was nobody else there. Nobody else. But I went every once in a while. He was a cool guy. Not really. Anyways, moving on.
For those big classes, did you feel like your professor actually knew you?
No.
Not at all.
Nope.
All right.
Unless it was like, I had a lab with that professor, or I had that person for multiple classes. Like, no, you sat in the like back section of Smith and went online shopping and drank your coffee. Like that was what those classes were to me.
I didn't do those things.
I was going to say, I think that now we know Claudia's routine.
But like I guess my question to that is why go?
Because
I mean,
clicker,
why
clicker.
you don't go sometimes. So there's a certain extent where like you have certain classes like when you have a quiz or like you have an important lesson, but like I mean like there are definitely times where you don't have to go.
Yeah, and I feel like my best experiences with those kinds of classes, like if it wasn't like a hard class, then yeah, maybe I went, maybe I didn't, but like for the ones that were genuinely difficult, I just wouldn't go, and every single office hours I would be there and like got to know the professor so well and actually learned, because he was like, there's one kid right here that wants to learn as opposed to 150 who don't give a crap.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, you're 100% correct. It depends on the class. Like first year, I don't even think the professor knew I was in the class. But like as I, whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to fucking say right now.
Well, okay, so I'll talk then. I think, I think that's a good point. Like, if you're going to office hours for like a specific professor that, like, say for your major, not just like some random class that you have to get done, like, and you're gonna take them again, like, it's definitely good to go in and get to know them, meet them, because like, say in my major there was only like 3 professors, so like you're gonna take them again at least like 2 or 3 more times.
Yeah, that's how geology was for me. I mean, I had the same professor for 4 or 5 different classes or something. So like him, I got ticket. I didn't really have a choice. It was like you kept walking in and seeing the same person. Like you don't really have if you want to be antisocial and not go talk to him, you don't really have that option. So.
And the other thing, the professor I was talking about in the beginning, who like I just didn't go to class, but I would go to office hours. Like because I was in there constantly, like he ended up curving my grade. Like personally, the only one that he actually curved at the end from like an 89.2 or 3 to a 90. And I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, they'll do that. Like just for if you like make that, especially if it's like something like super close like that where you're off by 3/4 of a point or something, like they'll bump you out. They'll do that.
Yeah,
On the other
Jalen,
hand, On the
they
other
bump
hand,
you up like after
Oh
class?
my God,
do
I
they do
forgot.
that?
I was gonna say, on the other hand, if you're just some random, they will never do that, and they're just gonna get pissed and don't tell you to email them. Ask you
Okay,
that.
but I
Exactly. Yeah.
I talked in that class all the time. He knew who I was. I was 0.3 away from an A, and he did not give it to me.
That was a
Sucks.
wonderful day for me because I got an A in that class, and Jay didn't talk to me for 3 weeks.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's how geology was for me. I mean, I had the same professor for 4 or 5 different classes or something. So like him, I got ticket. I didn't really have a choice. It was like you kept walking in and seeing the same person. Like you kind of, you don't really have. If you want to be antisocial and not go talk to him, you don't really have that option. So
And the other thing, the professor I was talking about in the beginning, who like I just didn't go to class, but I would go to office hours. Like because I was in there constantly, like he ended up curving my grade. Like personally, the only one that he actually curved at the end, from like an 89.2 or 3 to a 90, and I was like, that's amazing.
yeah, they'll do that. Like just for if you like make that, especially if it's like something like super close like that where you're off by 3/4 of a point or something, like they'll bump you up. They'll do that.
Yeah,
On the other
Jalen,
hand-
do
on the
they
other
bump
hand-
you up like after
Oh
class?
my God,
do
I
they
forgot.
do that?
I was gonna say, on the other hand, if you're just some random, they will never do that, and they're just gonna get pissed and don't tell you to email them. Ask
Okay,
you that.
but I
Exactly. Yeah.
I talked in that class all the time. He knew who I was. I was 0.3 away from an A, and he did not give it to me.
That was a
Sucks.
wonderful day for me because I got an A in that class, and Jay didn't talk to me for 3 weeks.
No, I was so mad.
Score
So
one for the
bad.
away team.
Oh, Jay needs a moment now.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, no, that's gonna cut out. All right, let's.
Oh, I thought I didn't think you were gonna say that. I thought we were gonna keep that in. Okay, now cut it.
No.
I'll write it down. I'll write it down.
Score 1 for the away team. Claudia's very
Yes.
clearly white. Okay.
I mean, that
He
was
said very clearly.
that was implicit and clever enough that we could leave it in.
Well, that's what I thought.
I vote that it stays in.
Now I-
The three
now I-
white
it's been-
people said that could stay in.
Hey, she knows
man.
more about your culture.
Apparently.
Okay, someone talk about using Canvas.
I know we gotta move on.
I despise Canvas.
Claudia,
Okay.
you do it.
I
Ready?
hated it so much.
Right?
Okay.
Who's going?
I knew that was gonna happen.
I know I did because I was ready to, okay, all right. I didn't hate
Jalen,
it.
you go.
All right. So after figuring out your routine and everything, something that's really important for probably 90% of your classes. I don't know many classes that don't use Canvas, but Canvas is your student. Like I know some other schools have like Blackboard. It's just where all your assignments. You can find your syllabus. You can find the calendar, your grades that you're not going to get to because you're 0.3 points away. You can also hand in all of your assignments. It's all done electronically on your computer, but some professors don't.
Same
like,
thing.
I know, but
two halves the same.
but electronically.
Go on.
But most professors will use it. Some, like, I don't know, some that don't like technology won't use it. I know labs even use it, and like you're doing work in a lab and you have like, depending on what the lab is, you have to do stuff like in person. You'll still do stuff on Canvas. So it's good to navigate and make sure that all your classes are on there, because if you're in a class and it is not on Canvas, chances are you're missing a lot of stuff that you need to know. They have an app also. I did not download it.
Yeah, I never used that.
I had it. It
I
worked.
never
It
have
actually
an app.
worked well. Yeah, I actually
It worked,
liked it a
yeah,
lot.
I was surprised by the functionality.
Yeah,
Oh, really? I did not use it. I didn't have it.
it was. Yeah, the app is great. The actual site, but the app.
Wait,
is
we
great.
used to use Sakai, right?
I was just gonna say
Dude,
that.
Just
rest in
thinking
peace,
that, Sakai.
That was
I'm-
a piece of trash.
It doesn't
Oh,
exist anymore,
what?
right?
That was
No,
garbage.
No, it's gone.
They got rid of it. It was bad, but it was like for the memes. It was great.
Yeah, I had a class that was like Sakai, another one that was Canvas,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
one that was Piazza, just for the hell of
Oh
it.
my
It
god,
was like
Piazza!
Was
Yeah.
what?
I forgot about Piazza. No, our Our statics class was on Piazza. Oh wait,
One
you didn't-
professor I had 3 times. Every
Oh.
time it was a Piazza section,
Yeah.
and I never
It was
like
on Piazza.
What is Piazza?
never subscribed.
It's
It
the
was
same
useless.
exact
What is
thing.
Piazza?
It's like the same thing. You can Piazza, like I did discussion boards on Piazza. I didn't really hand in everything, but it was like the same thing. You can find your syllabus, you can find assignments, you can contact classmates and stuff. I don't know if they still do. They still? I mean,
The functionality was just so simple. Like Canvas can do everything Piazza can,
yeah.
which is the part that makes it aggravating when a professor, especially the one I'm talking about, who's an electrical engineer, like this guy, technology, and he had a Canvas page and a Piazza page, and it was like, why?
It does the same thing. They literally
Why?
do the
Yeah,
same
half
thing.
the announcements go to Piazza, half to
Why?
Canvas.
Why? That's just like screw you. Like,
Yeah.
let's make college as hard as possible. Like
I mean, that's
think-
what they love to do.
Yeah, I
He
think
was. Oh,
I like the calendar in Canvas.
Hate it. Hate it.
I
hate
know. I'm pretty sure most people don't
Hate
like
it.
it.
Google Calendar.
yeah.
No
export
reason.
everything to iCal immediately.
Right.
Like,
I was gonna say, yeah. So
Get
like
your
I
classes, do that,
yeah.
aggregate all of your calendars, make sure that there's not something
Yeah.
you have scheduled in like Ryan's family calendar that's actually a due date for a prep. Yeah, because then you don't get updates, and then you find it. It's like,
Yeah, I
oh, it's
like-
grandma's birthday, and my test was 3 days ago. Like that's
I liked the calendar, but I don't like how like it'll put literally everything and then notify you. And it's like you missed an assignment today, and you look and it's like attendance. And it's like, well, yeah, I didn't show up. But like there would be like a bunch of random things, and like I know for after like we had like on our calendar we had like 6 things per day that would
Yeah.
pop up, and I'm like this is just annoying at this point. Like I don't like this. I mean,
Well, and
I'm
also not all professors are reliable at like putting
Yeah.
assignments online. Some of them are just like test dates are in the syllabus, do that. So like you're not going to get all the information. Like you got to put it all into one place, and that one place is Google Calendar. It's
you
the only
swear
one.
by. I was gonna say you swear by Google Calendar.
Yeah, I love Google.
There's also on the other hand that I know Jay had this like big calendar on his desk, just like that he would handwrite things on.
That's like my
organized.
favorite thing in the world. I'm like,
I left
I'm
you
like-
notes on that.
he did indeed.
Nice ones.
Yeah, debatable. But yeah, I had a large. I don't know. It was like at Walmart. My mom got it for me every single year. Like that was like my. I wrote out everything. I had them color coded. I had my pencils, like made sure they're highlighted and everything.
Fucking
Like
pencils.
you know how.
Yeah, if
that's
we
why
haven't
I-
said this before on another episode, Jay has this weird obsession with pencils.
It's just
Only
so
number 2
nice.
Ticonderogas though. Like
Yeah,
Obviously.
I have-
only the
You ever
best
had a
for
number
Jalen
3 though?
Sorensi.
Number 3s don't mess around. No, like that's not even a joke. Those are heavy duty pencils, like military grade.
Where are we going?
Ryan, you can say anything and Jay's gonna lose it. Like
Guys, Ryan and I.
But
we,
don't- I-
we,
so-
we
so,
go back.
Like one thing, if getting back on subject, one thing that like I admire about Jay's strategy is that he didn't do what I did, which is look for an app to just organize everything, and then oh, I need another app for this, and it's like, well, now I have things across 4 different applications. I don't know how to use 3 of them, and I just wasted so much time.
Yeah,
like-
I couldn't do that. I
All
like
the
I just
fancy
like my-
to-do software, at least for me, was just a complete waste.
Yeah, I wrote everything on that calendar. Like even my phone calendar. Like honestly, I really don't have that much stuff on my calendar on my phone. I don't use Google Calendar. Claudia, don't kill me. But like I rather just write everything down. I don't know, and then I'll see it. I'll use my I'll get like sticky notes, and then I'll have each day color coded. So like if like my assignments on Wednesday are like if I have assignment due on Wednesday, then I'll put for like Thursday yellow. It's like you have to do this assignment coming up. It's like you have 5 days to do this assignment, and then like the Monday before the Wednesday, it's like you really need to do this assignment, and then Wednesday it's like it's due, and then Thursday's like you turned it in late. So, so I don't know. Pen and paper, pencil and paper, it just has always worked better for me.
Yeah, 100%.
That's,
Just writing it down and not making a big deal out of it.
Yeah. No, Claudia?
Color-coded Google Calendar. It's
No.
the only way to go. No, writing it down doesn't work. No.
Guess what? Mine. I don't even need Wi-Fi to look at my.
Yeah, what do you think they use before?
Yeah, but you have to
Google
carry around a
Calendar?
calendar that's this big, Jalen. Like,
I mean, Wi-Fi or hotspot. I just got graphite.
Buddy, you get an internet outage though. Like, your schedule's open.
Yeah, exactly.
that's fair.
That's true. It's very true. All right. So after you are all organized, and once you realize that silly week is over, you'll see that you actually have work to do, which is like ridiculous. College.
And usually the fourth week.
Right. But it's good to come up. Like, I know one big mistake that I always made was like, okay, I have a test on the 25th. So from the 20th to the 24th, I'm going to spend 15 hours studying a day, trying to cram everything. And then I'm going to get 100 on this test on the 25th. And then that would happen. I know a lot of like, people always say like you should like keep reviewing your notes and stuff like constantly, just so that you're not cramming for an exam at the very last minute. I don't know. I'm not a good studier. Studier?
You should go with it.
I'm
Clearly.
not a good.
What else would it?
I don't know. I'm not good at studying. That sounds better. I like that better.
Okay.
I'm not good at studying.
That's more intelligenter.
Yeah. Thank you, Ross.
Had to.
But I just, I just don't like study. I mean, nobody likes study. I don't know. People like studying. Do you guys like studying?
Nope.
Not
I get distracted
particularly.
very easily.
Me too.
I mean, there's things I dislike more, but it's not my go-to for sure.
I'd rather just like see for me, and like I'd rather you give me like 4 weeks to finish a lab and put that as my final.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, I
yeah.
feel like that also is dictated by, what major or what you're like passionate about. Like
Also true.
if you work that way, I wouldn't go into chem.
Very
Communications.
True.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we all spent our freshman year days studying together, and I think that was probably good and bad. Because I'm like, let's go all study together, fully knowing what that meant. We knew what was happening. It didn't work. Sometimes it did. Most of the time,
The
Like
first time.
99%.
yeah.
Basically, what Jay's saying is sometimes, that's it. Just sometimes. Like,
I don't know what's more distracting. Like, obviously, if I'm studying with people, like, it's distracting, but I get distracted just as easily, like, by myself. Like, if I sit at my desk, if there is a window anywhere near I'm studying, oh my God, it's game over. Game over. Dude,
so the
like,
basement of Drake is the special spot for you.
I love the basement of Drake.
My lab room, or sorry, my closet in Drake.
Yeah, it was like, it's just, I don't know, it's just like windowless and
It's a
No.
cinder block tan room. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
right.
Like,
That's what I need. Because if you give me a window, then I need to know what's going on outside.
I think that's a fair point. I agree with that. Like you see like one thing move in the corner of your eye, you want to like
Yeah.
go look at it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
and like in comparison to like the library where there's a bunch of spots where you can like study, it's just like you're surrounded by other people. They're always making noise and like it's not as tranquil as you would think it would be. And like going to a basement just of like a random classroom like is probably a lot better.
My
I
favorite,
when I was taking tests and like just because I didn't take tests in the traditional lecture hall, like when I was in DSS, there's just a beautiful set of windows, and Like all I would care about is getting a seat as far like from the door as possible. Like I wasn't even doing anything bad. I look in retrospect, I don't know why, but occasionally it would be like that window seat, and I would see people, and I'd be in there because like I got double time, and it'd be like the 5th hour, and I see these people, and I'm like, you're free. I used to be like you. And it would just, and then I just end up rushing through and not do well. But stay away from windows.
Yeah, I can't study in the library. I know
Windows
some
will be your
people-
downfall.
I know some people say like I need other people to be studying around me to study, and I'm like, I'm literally the exact opposite. Like if I'm in the library upstairs and everyone's studying, like perfect people watching spot, to be honest. First off, like you can see what everyone's doing, everyone's studying for. You always see that person that's been there for like 36 hours. You'll see the other person that's like, I'm here because that's what you do when you have an exam. And then there's me who's has everything open, has Spotify, is like making a playlist so that I can study to.
Is that the 3 types of people?
I mean, there's probably more, but those are the 3 that I think of.
That's the breakdown.
I was gonna say I was all 3 of those at one point.
No, the best place to study in the library is the study rooms. That's my vote. Those are the best ones.
Yeah, the study rooms are great. I just don't like how. So the study rooms, I don't even know how many there are. There's a ton of them, but
6.
especially during finals week, like it was always so hard to get one, and I don't like how you have to reserve it. Like if I'm there, someone like, why do you get to just reserve it and take it away from me? Like
because you were more proactive,
right,
more concerned with doing well.
Yeah, like that's not fair. And you only get it for 2 hours a day. I mean, like I get other people
which
to
I
work.
immediately like. I think I studied in the library literally once, and that was when I was doing the semester before. Like I did the summer session before freshman year, because I didn't have friends in high school. But I studied in there once, and I was like, wow, I will never get anything done here. Like there's no way. And sure, you can get one of the rooms, but for me, like 2 hours, I get set up. I got 15 minutes left. Like, and
Really?
not really, but like the point is, it's like you get in a groove, and then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, my time's up.
And you just get cut off. Yeah.
So that's why I discovered every nook and cranny in the school. I looked up on Google, thinking that this was something people like would post about. I was like, good study spots at UD.
That's what this
And the
podcast is
spots were
for.
garbage. They were like, oh, the chapel in Trabant. And I was like, did everybody read this post?
Well, I mean, when Spencer came on here, he did
Oh,
say
yeah.
that there was like this spot in the basement of Old College where there were like those hammocks, and I don't know what that whole like story was, but I mean,
okay, Rick, I literally thought you were gonna say, "Oh, I know where that is," because you'd be the person that probably fucking designed it. Like,
Old College is scary. Old College is frightening. I had a complex analysis class in there, and I went a couple times, and I didn't like it.
I've never
Like the
stepped a
class
foot
was
in that
fine, but
building.
the building was crazy. Oh my god, do you remember Pokemon Go? Like when that
Oh
was
my
popping?
god.
Holy
Old College.
crap.
what a
During the
transition.
During the summer session, we would walk from Ray Street, and like I would just like Team Red, and like 40 guys would just be like, anyways.
I've never gone in there. I hear it's haunted though, but is it that
Do you
building?
actually think it's haunted though? That's the real question.
No, but like there's a building on campus that's haunted. I don't know which one it is. It's on. You can look it up. I don't know.
Yeah, let me Google Maps. Haunted
haunted place in Delaware.
Haunted Lab.
Yeah. So I mean, you could study there, but I don't know. But yeah, I think the place I liked the most was Sharp. Like just taking one of the empty classrooms and just locking the door and hoping that security didn't come and kick you out.
You don't even lock the doors.
Because like
Weird.
because if security comes and they kick you out at like 9 o'clock, but if you just lay low, then
You bar yourself in, refuse to leave.
Yeah, especially like during finals, we wouldn't leave there until like 4 a.m, and like we just had like a nice big classroom. It was nice. I don't know. That's probably where I study the most. But
I think if you're going to talk about the best study spots, I think you should talk about the worst ones too. Like, dear God, never try and actually study in Trabant or Perkins.
no.
Like,
No.
Like, it's not even worth trying. It's not, downstairs in Perkins is okay sometimes.
But
it's
if it's off
just
hours,
find a
like,
spot.
Yeah.
Just to
Find
do work
one
or
or two
something.
good spots.
Yeah. The
Because
walking.
if you find those like one or
Chick-fil-A.
two like consistent spots, then your brain is like, okay, when I'm here, I work.
Yeah.
If you're everywhere else, it's like, that consistency is gone. And I personally, I don't know anyone who could. Don't try to do it in your room.
I was just gonna say that.
Those desks are stupid. Like, I literally sleep like this far from the desk. There's
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I relate.
everything
that's
that
what
you
I do right
use
now.
and like distracts you is all next to you, and like you're purposely gonna get distracted. Like, get out of there.
Yeah.
Go somewhere,
I
anywhere else.
Yeah, I would try, but like it was always just, especially like freshman year, like our door was always open. There's always people in there, and I'm like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, your room is like the worst example.
I'm gonna
spectacular.
especially with Ryan like being loud like 24/7. I mean, like, because he's a DJ. Like, I mean, like,
yeah, I had that entire setup in there.
I was gonna say, wait, what?
I was like, wait, what? But yes, Ryan, we did have some very, very large speakers in our room with a lighting up DJ set and disco lights on. Basically,
Okay, that sounds like a kid's toy, like a light up DJ set.
Light up DJ set. Get yours today.
No, I use these speakers at a football stadium.
yeah, like, they were huge, but yeah, I didn't really do work. But our room was, we didn't want our room to be a work room. It was our room was an escape. It was an escape from.
It was definitely an escape.
Anyways,
like, especially when you first, like, you kind of grab life by the balls for the first time when you go to college, because high school, it's literally like do this 6 a.m. for some reason school starts, and like then afterwards do whatever. But
I think I started at like 7, but yeah, just like, I don't know, it just
7:15.
But like having that, even if you're not good at balancing it, at least having that, like, okay, this is where I work. This is like, when I'm here, I don't mess around. And, it might only be for 20 minutes, but that's a start. Because like
more than you were going to do.
Yeah. And it's like, you could study for 4 hours in your room, or at least tell people that you're not actually doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you need to create that work-life balance. And if you don't do that right away, it's going to be so much harder.
I don't know if any of you.
Study spots don't work. Oh, go ahead, Ross.
He was like fully in the middle of his sentence.
Yeah, that was.
No, I started talking before him. I think I'm laggy because like
I was gonna say he was like halfway through the sentence.
Claudia has discovered time travel.
No.
I'll just go fuck myself, I guess.
All right, bro, let's go on.
Hold on, now I gotta write down these
I'm
times.
eating my snacks.
Thought you can just time travel, change it.
Yeah, I just cut this out. What was I don't know, Claudia, you go. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Oh no, I don't know what I'm gonna say.
You said when the study rooms don't work.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna go into tutoring.
That's what I was gonna do. So you go.
Gotta finish my snack. Okay, go. All right, so when your actual study places aren't working and you, like me, are not good at math and science, tutoring is actually a really good way to supplement some of that, because there's no point in studying if you don't know what you're looking at and talking about, which was me in calculus. So tutoring's kind of the best way to go. Did you guys do tutoring?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, for Chem 111 freshman year.
I did it through like the online board where there's other students who are like, oh, I'm a chem major, I'll tutor Chem 101.
Yeah.
And so like I I did that kind of thing. But I know there was also like online boards for private tutoring, or like you could hire someone different. I don't know
I was
about
gonna
that,
say,
but the online
yeah.
UD one was great.
Because I like was, when was it? I don't know. I think it was maybe sophomore year. I had a tutor for dynamics, but I did not do it through the university because let's just say I was told that everyone, it's like our dynamics professor is not the greatest for mechanical engineering, and it was just like hard to understand what he was trying to say, and also what he was like going over. He just went like super fast, but like people who understood his class were tutors, but like if you understand how he works and then do that, like show that to me, I'm still like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So
That's
like
fair.
I went online. I got like a private tutor through, I don't even think it was like through university. I think it was just like, we have tutors online. I think it's probably more expensive to do that.
Yeah, I did that once. I don't remember where I did it through, but first I did one like with another student for, I think it was like econ or something like that, and then another one for like calculus or something. And like the second time I did it like direct private thing, and it was definitely more expensive. I don't remember how much or where it was, but it was definitely more expensive.
I know the school offers like tutoring for, especially like the like more general classes. Like there's tons of tutors. The Office of Academic Enrichment is on South College near, I think it's like across from the library, but you can walk in there and just like find, like if you just say, hey, I need help with Chem 1, they'll give you 6 different emails to reach out to, and then you can find yourself a tutor. They cost money, but I'm pretty sure they're like much cheaper than it would be to have a private tutor online. Once you get into like the more difficult classes, it's like less people are tutoring. But if you need, especially like that original transition from high school to college is a lot. So if there's like some classes that you're taking first semester or second semester that you need help with, you could just walk in there and they'll help you out.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on the whole tutoring thing because it was just like, God, now someone's explaining things to me that don't make sense. Chegg, that's the way to go. Get the subscription, and then you can just plug in all your chem questions, and it gives you your answers. Like,
right. So basically, let's not
or you
learn.
could-
Let's just
you-
get the answers.
Yeah, you could also learn.
yeah, no, it's perfect. It's perfect for a public policy major who has to take chem.
Yeah,
That's
no,
okay. Fair.
That makes sense.
That's very fair.
I paid my TA, which I think is highly against the rules. But he or she was an absolute godsend. Like that's the reason I ended up doing well in that chem class. But yeah, no, that was like, I think it was $10 an hour, which in retrospect, it's like, why did you? That's nothing.
That's terrible. That's
Yeah.
like, that is terrible. Yeah, I did not buy Chegg, but I knew a lot of people with Chegg, so I just like log in on people.
They locked that down now.
I
though.
was gonna say that, like, you can't log in on like multiple platforms now or whatever. And I'm like, what are the kids gonna do? Like,
Yeah, it's like if you use a VPN,
They have to learn.
Chegg loses his mind.
right.
Or just buy a subscription if you don't want to do the work of learning things.
I was
No, but
gonna
yes,
say-
a lot of students are gonna be fucked.
Yeah, I think how much is it? It's like $15 a month. Or
50,
something?
it's like $15.99 or something arbitrary like that.
That's ridiculous.
Have you ever?
I mean,
have
like,
you
it's
guys
worth
like
it, but-
the subscription comes with like 30 minutes of tutoring like a month?
Yeah,
Have you ever
yeah.
used that?
I've
Nope.
never had a
No.
subscription,
It's interesting.
but
Okay.
I feel like the tutoring can't be like, I don't know, but like I feel like it just can't be that good. Like,
Yeah, I also
yeah, I don't know. I've never used it. I ordered textbooks from Chegg once, and they sent me.
Forgot
I got
about that.
25 minutes of tutoring, and then they sent me like a HelloFresh meal or something.
Was it cheap?
that's so random.
Were the textbooks cheaper than like other options?
I'm assuming for that one, it was, but I'm pretty sure I've only gotten one textbook from them. I've never gotten a textbook from them, and I didn't even buy it. I rented it and then sent it back to them. But I don't know how much it was. I don't even remember what class it was, but I just remember getting like the checkbox but like they gave me like a bunch of. They gave me like a Red Bull. They gave me HelloFresh. They gave me like the tutoring thing. I got like a snack bar. Like they treat you nice at Chegg.
So they gave you HelloFresh. Did they say like you need to pick this up soon? There's fresh food in here.
Oh no! Like they gave me a coupon for free HelloFresh.
Oh,
Whoa.
I thought they just like sent you a steak and mashed potatoes with your textbook. Like,
oh my god!
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta explain
Yeah.
that.
K-Frank, you didn't see me just microwaving the meatball steak in our dorm room freshman year.
It's a ribeye. Pops it in the microwave.
Like, hey, it works just like Easy Mac. But yeah, no, I don't know. I didn't really use chat. Well, no, I used it for the fact to get answers for stuff I didn't know. But
You used it. The only thing you didn't do is pay for
yeah,
it.
right.
No, it's an
the next
incredible resource.
It's like Netflix. Just like steal everyone else's.
Yeah, nobody actually. Does anyone here pay for Netflix?
I mean, didn't
What
they
do
like
you
crack
think-
down on that
are
too?
you- Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy to identify
I
the
was
MAC
gonna say-
address
I
of the
was-
device.
They cracked down hard enough because your boy is still not paying for Netflix, but still watches Big Mouth all the time. So,
all right, Jalen.
But no, that's 100% worth it. The only thing that I would mention is like I know when I got into a lot of my upper level math classes, like there's a point where I mean these were, and this is not me like trying to brag at all because I don't have the ability to do them. I don't know how I passed, but like the math, if you looked up a problem, it would just be like published papers, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? And then you go to Chegg and it's like somebody answers your question and you're like, yes, that's exactly what I would put.
Yeah.
And then the professor's like, who taught you? This is not how I taught you. This is how a physics professor would do this. I'm a math.
Yeah.
And I was
Yep.
like, no, this is, are you sure? This isn't-
No, I'm right. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, the guy got an upload.
I remember when I was taking one of my engineering classes, our exam was like open everything, like internet, textbook, like you could use whatever you want. So I was logged into a check account and was like, oh, like I'm golden, like this is gonna be so easy. I'm just type the question in on check. This man wrote his own brand new, never before seen season premiere questions. And I remember going on Chegg, and the most upsetting thing was in that 6 to 9 exam, and just no results found coming up. And I'm like, wow, I'm fucked. Like I am screwed. So try to learn, try your hardest to learn, but
Unless you're a public policy major, then Chegg, then you're good. There's no other use for that in the real world.
that's actually, yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was thinking.
I knew it, Jay. Come on.
But yeah, the other sorry, you can do it because I know you looked excited.
Go. Please.
The other website, I know it's also an app. I had the app for this, but Unidays is a college, I guess, a discount, and you can kind of find like everything on there. You basically just like sign up for it. I think you might have to like put your student ID in or something, but anything, it's like not even like specific things. Like if you just type in something on Unidays, like it might come up and you might save money on it. I remember I was looking for a megabus and sorry, you threw me off. I was looking for a megabus ticket, and it was like if you go on Unidays, like you can get a discount. And I was like, okay. So I went, and it was like a free one-way ticket, and I was like, oh. And it said redeem code, and then I got a free trip to New York. And I was like, well, that's kind of nice. But they have like literally everything on there. I was still using it up until probably a couple months ago because apparently my ID is not active anymore. They told me I wasn't a college student.
That's what happens when you look like 47.
Or when you graduate.
Nah.
No, it's definitely the first thing.
God, everyone saw it. Amazon did the same thing. They were like, "You ain't a student anymore," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it's like, are your kids in college?
Yeah. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
But a lot of times, if you just look up like whatever service or like product you're like, it's literally even fashion. Like if you just do that and then type in student discount, a lot of the times the way that they do it is through unit days. Just because, like, I don't know, to me it seems odd to go to unidays.com, then type in what I think I want, and then see like, oh, they don't have it. That was a waste of time. Whereas I could just go student discount and then it'll come up. And also, like, what is it? NetBeans? Is that no? That seems weird. I'm gonna
Come again.
Excuse me?
Net beans?
Can you repeat that for the people in the back?
Oh wait, no, I got that.
Okay. Other important websites.
No, there
Wrong
was another-
website. Next on the list.
What is NetBeans? Should you say
No,
it?
NetBeans is a piece of software for Java. That's not what I meant.
No need
Student
to look that up.
beans. Student beans.
But still beans. That wasn't the word I thought I was gonna say.
I'm glad it did. That would be the weird one to go away. No, student beans is like another unit.
I've never heard of that one. But same stuff, discounts and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the fuck I'm supposed to transition to DSS. Like,
So, Ryan mentioned it earlier. Have him talk about it a little bit more. I don't know.
okay,
Hello.
all right.
You want me? I can.
So
Okay,
I
go,
mentioned
Jay.
DSS earlier and said like I got double time, which probably sounds great, and it was, but it's great because I'm diagnosed with like the kitchen sink, but like it's for anybody who needs like study aids. If you had like a 504 in high school, then and if you don't know what that is, then you don't need DSS, probably.
I have no idea what that
but
is.
but it's just like it's a diagnosis from either psychiatrist or physician, whatever it may be, that just says like the typical testing environment, especially in college when you have a room full of 150 people, is not conducive to my success. So you are like, if you're in DSS, there's a bunch of different accommodations. Like there's things for physical disabilities and all sorts of mental disabilities like mine. You can get extended time on tests. I also had priority registration, which
That's
I won't
huge.
lie to you,
That's huge.
I don't like. The interview was like, she asked me like, okay, so what do you want? And I was like, what? And I was like, is there a menu?
How much do they cost?
Right. Right.
And she had said, well, there's like this, or that you can get like a dedicated note taker, which is kind of cool, but that would also, like, I don't know, that wouldn't be fun to be the note taker. But that's if you just have trouble. If I'm that could be for a variety of things. But I didn't do that. And then she mentioned priority registration. And I was like, yes.
I want that one.
Yes, I want.
Yes, please.
That is,
Yeah.
I needed that.
Yeah.
Add that to the
Jinx.
checks.
Yeah.
But that was great. And that's not me endorsing you taking advantage of the system. I don't think it was really that big of a deal to get priority registration. If you don't need DSS though, just don't be a
that
dick.
person.
Don't be a dick. But yeah, it was bitter. It's like bittersweet. There's some things where it's like, okay, yeah, you go into a room and they have like 4 little computer lab looking rooms, and it's some days in the middle of the semester, there's no one in there but you. And for one of my classes, I had exams on Saturdays. Just awful. And I was the only person in there with the proctor. And they have like cameras in all the rooms so they can see you. And then like if you need a calculator, they have a bunch of calculators. The professor, you have to schedule. You have to like say, okay, in like with 5 days in advance, for the love of God, do not try to do that on the 4th day, 3rd day, because they don't know what to do. It's as if they've never done this in under 5 days. And that is a whole other debacle. I did that and thought the request went through. Silly me. I showed up and they were like, nope, can't do it. And I was like, you're telling me I can't get my professor to email you the exam? And nope. All right. So I had to go to the professor, explain, and the professor was like, God, I hate DSS.
At least they know.
Yeah, he's like, they're just like for an organization that's supposed to help people, they really just don't go out of their way, which true in some scenarios, but it is a godsend for those who need it. But yeah, so you just schedule a time, and then usually that time is when everybody else is taking it. For some, like if you get time and a half or double time, then you may need to take it earlier. Or in some cases, like if you have a 7 o'clock exam and it's a 7 to 10 exam, I'm not, and the proctor's not staying there till 1 a.m. So you end up moving everything before, and then they like don't let you leave until the other people have started, so that you can't text people about the exam. Yeah, it's handled intuitively, but yeah. And then finals and midterms, they give you snacks and like water bottles. There's Capri Sun. Yeah, that was great.
I honestly, I didn't know anything about DSS, to be honest. Like, not a single thing. I know people went. Like, I knew you went.
Don't do it for like, if you have, the one thing I will say, don't use it. Even like, yes, I need DSS, and you know, if you're listening, you may too. Don't do it if you have like a 10-minute quiz once a week. That's just so much hassle.
Are you even
for you
allowed
to
to do
go.
that?
Yes, but it's like if you do it, the professor won't like you. Like the DSS people will be like, and
But it
like
doubles. It does it change based on what it is, or it just doubles your time?
no,
If
yeah,
you're
2
doing like
times on
extended,
everything.
huh?
Just 2x on anything. Like
So it's like
you can
you
usually,
go for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, like.
yeah, no, you can work that out with the professor, but odds
Okay.
are if it's a 10-minute quiz, it's 3 questions and you either know it or you don't, and there's no like 90% of the time that's the problem, not your diagnosis. So like just don't do it for those little things. It's too much of a hassle. But everything else though, it's great. And the one thing I noticed is that you will fill the time you have. If I have a 3-hour exam, I will be in there for 6 hours. And that sucks. But it also is like, you know, that's what I needed to do.
Right.
Any questions?
I was gonna say that was a very like in-depth.
Yeah, I was like,
and
I have nothing else to add.
Yeah, like I didn't have anything to add to begin with, but like that was a very in-depth and.
Oh, it's in Allison Hall, by the way.
Oh,
There you go.
Know that?
Oh yeah, and then during finals, like with the snacks and everything, yes, that's wonderful, but I forgot to mention that because there's so many people that are taking it, and you see all walks of life go through those doors, but there's so many people that they end up just putting you in a classroom, and I'm like, this is what I'm trying to avoid. Like I get the extra time, but I'm still in a classroom. That kid's
Right.
shaking his leg. The other kid sniffles every 30 seconds. Like this is a disaster.
Basically,
and
they're not doing their job fantastic.
Not at finals, definitely not. The other thing you need to consider is that getting in contact with your professor, difficult, near impossible in some situations. Like that's an advantage to taking the exam in the classroom, is raise your hand. Like if you want to do that in DSS, You need to tell the person, they need to call. The professor needs to then get the message and then call back, and then they need to go get. In all that time, you have no idea what the answer is. So like,
Right.
That sounds like
you
a
might
blast.
be paralyzed. Poor choice of words, but like, yeah. So that's probably the only other like drawback that I can think of. Finals and contacting your professor.
I didn't even think about the contacting your professor. Like, so it's so easy to just raise your hand and ask a question. But if they're not, I also assumed that
I've never done it.
DSS, like your professor or TA would be there. I don't know why I assumed that, but that was my assumption.
The cloning costs extra.
If you got DSS questions, obviously go ask Cameron because he seems to know just as much, or
Yeah.
if not more, than the DSS people do.
Yeah, no, they've been good.
As we move along, is there anything else you guys want to mention before I think we wrap it up? Okay, I'll take that silence as a no. Ryan, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's been a
is fun.
blast.
Okay.
Be well.
We will see you guys next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
I was not prepared for you to end it.
I wasn't really sure, but like I felt like we
know,
were going for a while. That like I don't know. What else?
Okay, I think that's the first time that someone we've had on actually gave a very good description of the reason that we were.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the only person.
That's like the